Ladies and gentlemen, the Surface Duo 2 December update is live and it looks to be absolutely massive. We have a ton of stuff to cover in this video, so we're just going to get straight into it. I tweeted this just a few minutes ago. The update says here, improves the performance and stability of your Surface Duo 2. It was 258 megabytes, which is a lot bigger than it's been lately. Let's look at our actual changelog here because that's where the action actually is. We have, of course, it is a security update. We have improved system reliability and stability, whatever that means. Improves app navigations with added support animations. Okay, this is a big one. We're just going to go through these, and each one that I can explicitly show you and tell you what it is, I'm going to just show you what it actually is. So let's just jump over to the overhead camera, and I will show you exactly what we mean by added animations. So you may or may not have realized this, but on your Surface Duo 2, when you launched an app, there was no animation for launching the app. It would just pop into existence. And then when you swipe to go home, it would animate back out nicely, but there was no animation opening an app. Well, that is no longer the case. I know this is such a tiny thing, and this should have never been a thing in the first place. But guys, there's an animation when you open your apps now. Come on. Again, this is silly, crazy that it took this long to get that, but it's there. It's smooth. It looks good. That's actually working. Improves camera usability. This is an interesting one too. So obviously I've not had a ton of time to be testing this, but there's one thing I'm noticing immediately that seems to be a bit better to me. Let's go back to the overhead. And that is something that has been quite annoying with the camera. Not a big deal, but it was a little bit annoying. When you are in low light, the actual image you saw here was really laggy and stuttery, and it made it really hard to take pictures in low light. That appears to be pretty much just resolved. Even when I aim it at, it's gonna be hard to see this, but when I aim it at kind of darker areas here, I guess I could shut my light off and that would probably render a closer result what I'm trying to show. Let's shut that off. So now it's quite dark here now. And you can see that it's a little stuttery and juddery there, but compared to how it was before, it's miles better. And it's something that's not that crazily uncommon. You'll actually see that in some phones that in that low light, it'll start to lag a little bit because it's having to work a bit harder. That seems to be pretty much resolved. Let's see if there's any difference in the shutter lag here. I'm gonna try and take a bunch of pictures. I would say that's not too bad in terms of shutter lag. You can see there that I took that many pictures all back to back to back to back to back, and it handled that pretty well. That might be better than it was before as well. It's going to be really, really interesting to see over the next days. Definitely be here for the live stream Friday night because we're going to be talking about this stuff. I want to hear your guys' experience, but that seems to be improved quite a bit as far as I can tell. What about touch responsiveness? So this is something that's been complained about to varying degrees. I never thought it was that big of a deal, but I'll tell you this, I've had this thing installed now for about half an hour at recording, and that's not a big sample size at all. But I'll tell you this, it feels smoother. I am being much more unprecise with my swipes to go home, and I'm not really having any issues at all. What about getting to my notification shade? I mean, things that you had to be quite precise with in the past, I'm wondering, early expectations here, we don't know. This is an early look at this. It's just happened, but I think the touch response feels pretty good. It wasn't that far off from being good to me already. It was a little finicky, but that feels pretty much like a normal phone at that point. I am so far quite happy with how that feels. What about improved support for LDAC enabled Bluetooth devices? I've talked about this in the past, that some Bluetooth devices with LDAC had some problems with range. If you put your phone in your pocket and so forth, they would act a little bit stupid. So I guess what I need to do here is I need to do two quick tests. So my Palm Buds Pro have been what's been in my pocket for a little while now. So I'm going to put these in first, and I'm going to play some music, and I'm going to do things like covering my ears, which would cause it to cut out a little bit before. And if that holds up, we're going to go back to my sound cores. I'm going to explicitly turn LDAC on, and it barely worked at all that way. And I'm going to see how that works. So let's check this out first, and I'll tell you what I'm experiencing here. I'm going to try and walk around the room Okay, so they held up about the same as they did before. I don't really see a huge difference there. But now what we need to do is we need to do the real test, because the Palm Buds Pro kind of cutting that a little bit. Really, really rare for me to happen. However, the Soundcore device, these earbuds cut out all the flipping time when LDAC was enabled. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pop these bad boys out. They're already paired. We're going to go into the settings here. We're going to go to sound mode. And we're going to do preferred audio quality LDAC. This is where these things really, really struggled. As you can see here, I am switching modes. You'll see that it is, in fact, on LDAC now. And let's pop these buds in and see what happens now, because it was really bad before. Okay, that is an interesting response. So with these things with LDAC enabled before, if I put them in and I just put my phone in my pocket, the tempo would speed up. It would get really glitchy. You'd do all kinds of weird things. I had one moment, a split second, where it felt like a beat. I heard an impact on the drum that felt like it was at a weird timing. But other than that, I left my Duo sitting here and I walked all around in a circle around my house. My downstairs is like 12 or 1,300 square feet. I walk like, you can walk in a circle basically. It all links together. I walked in a circle all the way through. So my signal would have been traveling through probably 15 feet of multiple walls, and the signal never cut out. I put my hands over my ears and it never cut out at all. I heard that one moment. So I'm not going to tell you it's fixed, but I'm going to tell you that that was way better than it was before. So we're looking pretty good here so far. Improves reliability of the Android Auto experience. I can't vouch for this. I don't have Android Auto, so I can't really speak to this. Hopefully that's a thing. Let me know in the comments if that's been fixed for you. We have new features, guys. The pin does stuff now. So now we have to test that. We got to pull the Duo out. We got to get the pin out. We have to test the freaking pin. So let's grab the pin off of my original Surface Duo. Now we have to go to our Bluetooth settings. Did you see how easy that was to get to my notification shade? Like, it's perfect now. It's working so well. This is the original Surface pin, which I believe if you hold down the button, you will get to Bluetooth pairing. I should get a blink. There's the blinking light up top. We're going to pair a new device. We have Surface pin, pair, and let's see if this just works out of the box. Maybe there's any kind of like thing I got to do. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's click on the button. And there's one note. Holy crap. I know that this shouldn't be something that I'm like, super like impressed with, but like that's pretty good, right? And it opened it up in the appropriate, like the open screen. Did they fix the thing where apps don't always open in the open screen? I have to test this now. No, they haven't. Okay. So for whatever reason, that's still a thing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about here, basically on the original Duo, if I had an app here and I opened up the web browser, it'll always open it up in the open screen. That is the behavior that I want it to take. But now, if I open it, it's going to open up that link on the screen that it was last opened on. So it's going to open it over top of Twitter instead of opening it up in the open screen. It also says we have a couple of new settings here. So let's jump to the settings. I cannot tell you strongly enough that the gestures and the touch feel noticeably better. Let's go to our settings though, and we're going to go to Surface Duo features, and we got a couple of things to look at here. So first off, we have the ability to change what screen is the preferred screen. So right now, if you fold it like that, it's going to always default to the right screen being your primary screen. You're able to now tell it what screen you want it to use by either doing the right screen or the screen facing you automatically. That's the behavior of the original Duo. So you can't change it to the left screen, but you can change it to whichever screen is facing you, and you can let it do what the old Duo did if that's better for you. You also have the ability to change the way phone calls are answered. So you have the ability now to have it automatically answer the call when you do that, when you open it and put it into phone mode. It'd be nice if you could change it so that closing it doesn't hang up the phone. I don't think that is a thing quite yet, though. And that's about what we've got here for the December update on Surface Duo. Guys, I think this is a huge update, and I think that the touch response is a massive improvement. I would love to know what you guys are experiencing. I don't think this is a placebo. I think this is the real deal. The animations look good. It'd be interesting to see if you go into the developer options, can you speed that animation up? Because it does look a little bit slow to me. In fact, let's just do that really quickly and we'll see what we're looking at here. So if you don't know, you can go into the developer options and you can look for these options here that say 1x. And you can turn them down to like 0.5. Yeah, that looks a lot quicker. And I like that better. Okay, so that's how I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll with them 0.5. That looks a little bit quicker, a little bit snappier to me. Let me know what you're experiencing. Please sound off. Tell me if you've noticed anything that I didn't cover here. Big day. This is big. This might be the best update they've ever delivered to a Surface Duo. Guys, please stay tuned for more coverage just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.